Hey, everybody, welcome back. It's time to get started. Saturday night. I know you guys enjoying a wonderful day today. Now it's time to get to work. So, tonight we're going to talk about something new. But before we get started and all that, welcome to Advocates for Justice Paralegal Service. We specialize in foreclosure defense and learn how to smash attorneys in the face. So, welcome to tonight's stream. Live stream. We're live everywhere. Tonight, we're going to cover a couple of things. The new 1-2 punch lawsuit package that I put together to help you people that lost in foreclosure court. Yep, this new package you'll be able to use if you lost in foreclosure court up to 15 years ago. And don't ask me how many wins we have, okay? Because this is new and the concept's absolutely new that we're doing. So I don't see too many other people doing what we're doing here anyway. So if you got to ask how many wins, I don't think that you need to use packets. I need people who are willing to step up and get the wins. At the end of the day, it's not whether the package wins, it's whether the person using the package can make it through the fraud that the attorneys stick in your face, the bar members, because these bar members include the judge, the attorneys, the clerk, pretty much anybody involved in the system on the other side that aren't standing where you're at is involved. And the fraud is what blocks people from getting through to where they need to be, not the package not being correct. Because my documents are fire. We're also going to talk about the rules and which set of rules they're making you follow. So it's time for practice to start. But before we get started, you guys make sure that you click on those ads that pop up so I can get paid. Make sure that you click on the bell so you get notification when it's time to have practice. And a couple people have asked me, how do I get notified? Well, you have to subscribe. If you're subscribed, then you click on that bell to get notifications when it's time for us to rock and roll. You'll get a notification in your feed when I post something or when the live stream starts. So that's how you do that. And please don't forget to hit that like button so that YouTube and everybody knows that you find value in what I'm bringing to the table, and that'll help them show my stuff to more people. So let's just get right down to the brass tacks. Did you lose your house to foreclosure? Maybe you're a property investor that lost several properties to unlawful foreclosure. I talked to a guy earlier this week who lost 38 properties, and he's enrolling in my online course. So I'm hoping he will be able to get compensation for all of them properties because they were within a 15-year period of time. But even if they weren't, we can figure out a strategy to get you in place, in position to make them come to the table and talk to you about this problem. I don't care how long it's been. Now, if you could go back and challenge the foreclosure, would you have the courage to do that? How much would you be willing to invest in a lawsuit package that will help you challenge the unlawful foreclosure that happened already? Let me introduce to you the 1-2 punch lawsuit package. This new package challenges the court's lack of jurisdiction at the gate. And just like you understand, if you've been in my program at all, we want to keep them at the gate. You can challenge the court's jurisdiction up to 15 years. Let me see here. Let's go back and see. Hey, everybody, BX Trust. Hey, Bill. Facebook user, I need you to click on the thing to allow Facebook to show your name, and then I'll be able to see who you are because all I see is Facebook user. Twan says, oh, shit. Yeah, Twan, man, we mixing it up over here. We don't play around. and we figuring out ways to cut to the chase. And some of them are working, well, pretty much all of them are working out very nice. So I don't know who Heck Yes is, but heck yes, I got you. And Bill, you should send me an email to my email address at winningcourts1@gmail, and tell me in the email what you're requesting, and I can take care of that later. BX Trust says she's willing, and she lost a house in 2009. I tried a loan modification and short sale, and they scammed me. Yep. So in the conventional foreclosure defense program, they offer you three options: loan modification, short sale, or bankruptcy. And all three of them are used to disqualify homeowners. Think about it. In a loan modification, once you pull your pants down and show them your income, and they find out you have more debt going out than you got coming in, that's a wrap. And they no longer work with you. At that point, they start stalling you off and requiring more stuff and asking you to bring all of these things that, yeah. And the whole time, all I do is running you out of time. And I have some people that did. I had a guy contact me yesterday that actually contacted me a few months ago, and he decided to go with the bankruptcy. And so he did, paid all that stuff. And then the next thing you know, his house got kicked out of the bankruptcy and put back into foreclosure. And he don't understand. The reason that happened was because the attorney had agreed to that in the first place. Don't take all the money I'll take his money until he's running out of money, or until the time frame runs up that they agreed to with the judge. And then they put your foreclosure back in. They put your house back in foreclosure, and then they tell you, well, we don't know what happened. The judge just, I don't know what. Well, what happened was the attorney agreed to do that shit in the first place, and the attorney didn't object to the judge doing all of that. So yeah, that's what happened. And so your house is now in foreclosure after you did the bankruptcy, and now when you go through that and you call me up again, don't expect to get moved up to the front of the line, okay? If you didn't find the value in my program in the first place, then you kind of have to get in the back of the line and wait with everybody else, because we've got a lot of people at the front of the line that saw the value at the gate and are keeping them fools at the gate, and they're still in their house. So, if you call me later on and you start asking me to send you all this stuff, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to tell you, you need to do your homework yourself. Okay, in the beginning, I'm willing to help, but if you choose to do the bankruptcy and do the attorney things and pay them and do all that stuff, that's your choice. But you're not going to get moved up in the front of the line when you finally figure out that all of that is, oh, wait, there's a fourth option, and that's move out. Yeah, I had a lady telling me they told her after she spent $8,000 trying to save her house, the attorneys told her he didn't understand why she was fighting so hard, and she needs to just move out. Yeah, I think if I paid an attorney $8, let alone $8,000, and they told me that, I would hope the attorneys tell me that on the phone. Because I'd be going to jail with some real charges, I guess, if that happened any other way. Adrian, hey, coach. She says, what now? Well, a lot of people are worried about the sale of their house, and that's what they focus on, the sale of the house, and they're running around like a crazy person because these people are jacking with you. Okay, the sale of your house. The most important thing is not blocking the sale of your house. I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. The most important thing is having a process, a strategy in place to block the eviction process. That's more important than blocking the sale of your house. Now, if you have a good game plan, then you'll be able to do both. But I'm bringing this up because a lot of times people don't see the game plan or understand what we're telling them to do. And if you don't follow the game plan that we lay out for you or that's involved in the lawsuit packages, then you're going to find yourself in a jam, because at some point they're going to stall and do the same shit you're doing to them. And they're going to be stalling while they're kicking you out of the house because you don't have a strategy in place to block the eviction process. The sale of your house can take place tomorrow. If you get your stuff in place, you can block all of that and take control of it. Now, they know that people are running around freaking because of the sale of the house. So they work that shit. They send you this stuff and they call you and want to set up appointments and all this. All they're doing is just screwing with you. It's screwing with your head. So you guys need to figure out how you want to do this. At the end of the day, you still need to follow the steps and get your lawsuit filed and your documents filed in court to challenge the foreclosure process. And once you get all that stuff done, then you can attack the sale, provide file stamp copies for the corporation. You can add the corporation that's trying to do the sale to that new lawsuit package that I put together. Oh man, there's just so many options. You can file, you can go down and put a less pendants on you can file a less pendants, and that less pendants, you will attach a file stamp copy of the lawsuit that you have filed in state or federal court. And the jurisdictional challenge, you want to attach a copy of all of that stuff to the less pendants and attach to the lien, so that any of these fools that are trying to steal your property will see that you ain't having it. So there's a lot of things you can do, but until you get your lawsuit filed in federal court or state court or somewhere, get your own title dispute filed on the record, you got shit for the program. And I'm just going to tell you, because when you go into eviction court can only make a determination on immediate possession. And so they show up with their paperwork, their fraudulent paperwork that they just made, showing that they have that they have the right to take possession of the property. Now, here's the thing with that shit. If you went into court with the same paperwork, they were saying that you're pleading a title dispute and they can't hear it. So if the court can't hear a title dispute, why the hell are you in that court in the first place? It's fraud. People fall into that and they don't figure it out until it's too late. The only thing in my mind, well, it's two things now that will stop the eviction process. And one is having a title dispute filed in higher court. And the other thing that we're finding stops the eviction process a whole lot better is to file a lawsuit against the damn judge. Take the judge out. The case is sitting in the water and it ain't going nowhere. They need a judge. Now, with that said, I want to offer a tip. I want you guys to please. It's not a good idea to come on my live stream, or like last Tuesday, I did a Zoom call with like 30 members from California. It's not a good idea to come on to my Zoom meeting to complain that the process didn't work for you. Okay. It's probably not a good idea to do that. And I'll tell you why. If the process didn't work for you, more than likely something got left out. Now, somebody came on the stream on Tuesday and was complaining, and so I'm real proud of this process. And if you do it right, most of the people have had real good luck with it. So if you drop the ball and you don't sue the judge, when the judge ignores your jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit, ignores the fact that the attorneys could not respond to, if you don't file your objection, motion for reconsideration, notice of claim, and then recuse the judge, and then file the lawsuit against the judge for a violation of Administrative Procedures Act of 1946 and violation of Foreign Agent Registration Act. If you don't do that, they're just going to keep on beating you down. And the lady that called in didn't do that, and I don't really know why, but I felt bad for her because I was not trying to bring it up in front of everybody. But if she's going to bring it up in front of everybody and say my stuff is shit, then it's on. So, and not to be like mean to her or anything, but it's on, because if there's a problem with my stuff, I need to know now. and everybody else needs to know too. Okay, now if there's not a problem with my stuff, I need to know now, and everybody else needs to know too. Okay, so if it didn't work for you, it's probably not a good idea to come on the stream and discuss. Now I'll discuss it on the stream with you if you want to, because I got a lot of work in this, and I'll tell you right now, if it does not work for you, it's because they're screwing with you and you stink and believe them. Or, no offense, but I'm just going to go here, or you didn't do your homework enough to jam them up when they opened their mouth. You didn't know what to say to shut them up. So that's where I'm going to leave that. So if you want to communicate with me about why the program didn't work for you or something, it's probably a good idea to do that in private so that we can talk freely without everybody. And that's for me too. I mean, maybe something is there that I didn't do right. I mean, so if that's the case, I'd like to know too before everybody, instead of having it in front of everybody and then figuring out what we need to do to correct it. Now, I don't have a problem with it being in front of everybody because I'm an open book, but I've had people get mad. I made a comment, and one guy, I asked him, he was scared. I asked him if he was ready to give up and go sit down on the bench, and he thought he got mad and said I was sending him to the bench. And I'm a coach, okay? If you're not doing good, I'm not going to say you're doing good. Now, I don't have a bench. So if I got to send you anywhere, it's out the group. It's out the back door. So I'm just saying, no, but I don't usually have that kind of a problem with people unless you can't follow my rule. And I have rules, but I have one rule that I will not tolerate, and that's sending me your documents. And you send me your court documents, then we're gonna have a problem. If you send me your court documents and you tell me an email, I know you don't like me doing this, but I'm doing it. I mean, come on now, guys, come on. If you do that, I'm just gonna boot your ass out of the group, okay? Because I don't care. I have too many people that we're helping. I have too many people that are fighting, okay, that are fighting their ass off to deal with drama. Now, these rules are to protect me and you, okay? They protect me because now I can't fit into that mold they need me to fit into to say I'm practicing law without a license. And they protect you because they're not going to come after you and try to get you to ride on me, which would be a really bad idea. I'm just saying. They don't know. They're used to everybody crunching and kissing their butt, okay? I don't do that, and I never have. And that's the problem that I have right now. That's the problem they have with me. So if you don't follow the rules, then I'm going to assume you don't give a crap about my safety, and I don't deal with drama. So I'll just tell you right now, I don't deal with drama. Boom, I click the button and you're gone. Because we have a lot of people here, like you see all these people that show up every week here trying to learn and figure out how to do this. Yeah, you guys are the ones that I'm here for. The people that are here to get their hand held and to cause drama is not going to be here because I don't have time for that. So. John says this title dispute is not shown to. Yeah. And Twan says he's been through it, and I'm right. Yeah, Twan, I remember what you guys were going through, Twan. When you got in the group, you were already like really close to being pushed off the edge of the cliff. Laura says she never got a call back from me. Well, Laura, you know my number. You can call me back. Not right now because I'm a little busy right now. But I get a lot of calls. One day, the most calls I ever got one day was 31 calls. 31 calls in one day. I could not answer them all or call all of them back. Now, it would be nice if I had staff, but if I had staff, I'd have to charge more for my stuff. Staff, more for my stuff. Staff, more for my stuff. So you see where that goes. The whole idea behind my service is to make it affordable so that the people that I want to help, I'm able to help. And so that's what we're doing here. So everything ain't perfect. So if you didn't get a call back from me and you didn't call me back, I didn't know what to say, because it's up to you guys to initiate the program. Or if you call me and I don't answer the phone, you can leave me a text of what you need. I usually don't answer the phone if I'm busy doing something or if I'm on the phone with somebody else. So, and I'll tell you right now, I don't have time to answer voice messages in the middle of the day, because if I get one, I got to answer them all and got to take the notes down and who it is and all of that. And I do that at the end of the day, sometime in the next day. So, Laura, you know where I'm at, and you can email me. There's really no reason for me to call you, because I don't want to talk to you about all of the stuff that happened since 2008. I don't need to hear all of that stuff. I don't need to hear any of that stuff. Okay. If you don't know what package you need, then there's a video that on my YouTube channel that I just posted a couple of days ago. It talks about how to choose the package that you need. You're either in a judicial foreclosure, non-judicial foreclosure, or tax lien foreclosure. Those are the three main ones. Now, there's a few other types, so don't just start assuming things. Okay, there are a few other types, but those are the main ones that I deal with on a regular basis. And if you're in a judicial foreclosure, then you would need to go to the website and get the judicial foreclosure lawsuit package and get started, or one of the other packages that makes sense to you. And if you click on the package, it opens up a window so you can see more information about it. And in the product page, at the bottom of the product page of each of the judicial lawsuit packages, is the instructional video. I put it in the product page so people can see it before they invest in it in the package, to make sure that that they can do it, because you are the ones that have to do it. Standing free. Thank you. Standing free. I don't recognize you. Are you new here today? Thanks for coming and listening to us. So someone from Facebook said they wish that they found me sooner, but I did, so I'm glad. Well, there you go. How about I did and I'm glad first, and then you wish you could have. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm like weird about the positive thing. Okay, I talked to so many people that that are down in the dumps, and you don't have time for that shit. I'm sorry. I'm just going to tell you, you don't have time for that shit. You need to get rolling. You do not have time to be in the dumps or feeling bad for yourself or whatever. You need to think and get rolling. Because I'll tell you right now, I provide what you need. And it's up to you guys to figure it out. I'm not an attorney, but I do have a game plan, and I do know a lot of shit because I've been working with a lot of people from all across the United States of America, and that's how we put this program together that we're using. From real-time feedback from everybody. So let me change the banner here, put my email address on here. That's my email address. I prefer you contact me through email. The phone calls, I mean, if I need to talk to you on the phone, most of the time, the emails is what I need to do, because I don't need to hear all of those things that people are emotionally charged about that happened. And the reason I don't need to hear all that stuff, because we don't use any of that. We do not go into court defending the lies that they said that you did or didn't do. Okay, that's not our goal for going into court. And I think some people lose sight of that. And they think that I need to hear all of the stuff that Facebook user, what's your name? Why don't you tell us who you are? You said you bought the program and you just filed it. What you think about the program? Okay, we're getting off track here. We're going to get back to the. So the way this works, let me see. The way this works, the jurisdiction. Now, this package is called the 1-2 punch. And it's called the 1-2 punch because it contains, well, I'm going to show you a little bit later what's all in it. It actually has more than 2 documents in it, but I'm hoping you don't need to use but these 2. So the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit is the same. We changed it into a jurisdiction challenge with an affidavit. Now, there is a jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit. That is a document, that is a package that supports the lawsuit. Okay, this jurisdiction challenge with an affidavit lawsuit package has its own lawsuit inside of it. And basically what you're going to do is use the jurisdiction challenge with an affidavit because they can't answer by counter affidavit. So you already know that they're not going to be able to respond on the merits. So you should already be getting your stuff together, what you're going to do next. The jurisdiction challenge with an affidavit will be used to reopen the foreclosure judgment against your property. Now, remember, if you're in non-judicial, then you're going to have to reopen this case in the eviction court, jam that up, open that up, and then the new lawsuit package where you're suing the judge for unrelated stuff, the Administrative Procedures Act, the Foreign Agent Registration Act violation, and the Fair Debt Collection Act practice. Okay, that lawsuit you can file against the judge before the judge rules in the case. Uh-huh. Yeah. See, y'all with me? Uh-huh. So you're going after the judge to prove the judge is not legal because the Administrative Procedures Act of 1946 is a federal law, and the judge is in violation of that law because the court rules are not in line with the Constitution. And the Foreign Agent Registration Act, the judge is supposed to register with the National Attorney General and all of that stuff, and they are not. So here's the beauty of this. You challenge the judge, you file your challenging the court, and then you sue the judge for unrelated stuff that don't have shit to do with what the problem is. And now you challenge the judge for not being legal. And if the judge is not legal and you get this shit on the record that the judge is violation of 3 federal laws, that's going to be a problem for the judge. Yeah. And now all the judge's stuff is going to have to be called into question. This is pretty powerful. And then you recuse the judge after you get done filing your stuff. Or maybe you recuse him before you file your lawsuit. I don't know. But anyway, you're going to object to the judge's ruling. You are going to file your motion for reconsideration. You're going to challenge the court's jurisdiction. And then you're going to file your notice of claim against the judge. And then you're going to file it to recuse the judge. And then you're going to file the lawsuit against the judge for violation of this other stuff. And now the judge is going to have to step down. They don't have a judge. You're suing the judge for unrelated stuff. Think about it. Now the judge is going to have to step down. So someone said they understand that Trump disbanded fire office. Well, Trump's not in office right now, and I don't care what he did. Because if he disbanded, if he didn't block the law and make the law change the law, then the law is still the law. So, and this is the thing, guys. You can't limit yourself with all of these rules that they want you to follow. The hell with that. I don't care if Trump disbanded. Them fools can bring that shit up when they're trying to get out of this, because they got other issues to worry about too, not just what Trump disbanded. So I'm just saying, everybody comes with why it ain't going to work. Well, I don't want to hear it. Okay, I want to hear them tell you why it ain't going to work. That's what I want to hear. No offense, but that's how I roll. I don't let none of that stuff that they done stop what I'm doing, because you're going to the table with a bunch of fire here, and I guarantee you they don't. It doesn't matter what Trump did, because they do not want to expose themselves with this stuff. They don't want other people to know, and they damn sure don't want to have someone trying to challenge the judge's decisions based off of the crap that you're putting on the table. Hey, MX Capital. Dump the attorney's pandemic disappears. Yeah, so the way we roll here, Standing Free, we put it out there and we make them come tell us, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that started this shit. So they have the burden of proof. The burden of proof. I can't talk to them. They have the burden of proof, not you. All you got to do is create a reasonable doubt, or at least that's the way it's supposed to be. Hey, Troy Taylor. Thanks for listening to us, buddy. We try to keep it real. And, I have to remind people, too, that I'm not an attorney, so I don't know exactly what they're going to do. But what I do know is that the documents and shit that I put together is fire, and they should win. They should win hands down. Okay, it's the fraud that these dudes are and dudettes are doing that's causing the problem. It ain't just the dudes; there's some women up in there too. The women ain't getting the free. The women attorneys ain't getting the free roll up in here. So if I say dudes or women or whatever, I'm just trying to cut to the chase and not like, and everybody, believe me, I got a group for all of them. Yep, I saw your name in there, Curtis. I saw your name in there, and it's time to get rolling. One step at a time. And the last thing that I tell people right before they get ready to start following my stuff is, it's time to have some fun, because you ain't getting punched in the face enough. So it's time to have a little bit of fun. Fearless facts. Well, I don't have the fear in there nowhere. Okay, the fear is when you get is when you get arrested and shipped back with a forced medication order when you don't need it. Okay, that's the fear. So it's funny how it goes with me. They've already beat me down and and I'm still here. So nothing they can do to me now is no. Plus, one of the things that I learned, that my wife and I both learned in our ordeal, is had we not taken attorneys, they wouldn't have been able to do shit to us, because they didn't have anything. And as soon as we took their attorney in federal court, their attorney started telling them everything. Yep, telling them everything and selling us up the river. And that's kind of why I do what I do. This is my therapy. They pissed off the wrong guy. Okay. Let me move on. Who is this? Hey, Coach Neighbors, who is this? Tell me what your name is if you're from Facebook, because until you click on, until you click on the thing to give them permission. I thought I had it on here, but I don't see it. Until you click on the thing to give StreamYard permission, they won't show your name. Okay, so let's move on. The only therapy in a world full of rats. Yeah. Hi, Trinity and Alex. Thank you for your hard work, sir. You're welcome, young man or woman. You could be Alex and still be a girl, so I didn't know. So you're welcome, Alex. We'll just stick with the name. Yeah. Well, hey, Nikki. Yeah, I love that. It's Debbie when you have them by the balls. Yeah, that's pretty much right. And if you do, okay, Alex, cool. I didn't mean to insult you, man. So, I'm just trying to get it right here, not be disrespectful to anybody. At least before you paid, right? Okay, I'm not trying to be disrespectful after you pay either, but I am very passionate about what I do. And I have people telling me, "Hey, you get grumpy, well, you know what? I get grumpy sometimes when people contact me for help and then start telling me what the hell they need to do." Okay, so yeah, I get a little grumpy with that because I know what's going to happen. They're going to kick your ass in the end, and then you're going to be saying that you did everything. Okay, I've been there. Okay, sorry. Thanks, Alex. I ain't trying to piss you off before you buy something. So anyway, let's get this thing wrapped up here so we can move forward. So, violation of the Administrative Procedures Act, Judge in Violation of Foreign Agent Act of 1936. Now, if you try to look up the Administrative Procedures Act of 1946, you need to make sure you put 1946 on there. You're going to pull up Cornell Law Library, watered down bunch of BS. I pulled that shit up one day and I was like, what the hell is this? This is not what I was looking at yesterday. So the game plan for using this package is to block the judge from ruling on your jurisdictional challenge. This strategy will cause the new judge to reevaluate the situation, as the judge will be aware that he or she could end up in the same position. So basically, you file your jurisdiction challenge with an affidavit, and then you just go ahead and file this lawsuit against the judge. And you could add the attorneys in here too. And let me explain to you how much power you have. Okay, people have no idea how much power they have. You got my lawsuit, you can file it against the corporation, you can file it against the attorney, you can file it against the court's corporate charter, you can claim the corporate charter as in your claim, so as damages. So that's part of what you're claiming for your $5.5 million, the corporate charter, the attorney's bar license. Hell, my sister sued the attorney that was coming after her for his house, and we served them. Well, she served them, okay, because she did all this. Yeah, she's a badass. She served them at their house, and she added his wife to the service. So she's suing them not only for his bar card, their law firm's corporate charter. She's also suing the attorney she was until they terminate they terminate her case. She's suing the attorney for their house. And when I say they, I'm talking about him and his wife. Yep. And we served them and put her name on there. So, they were really freaking mad. He was really mad. I read his response and he was really angry that we served him and his colleagues at his colleague's house. And it's interesting. They went through 12 or 13 attorneys. And the last attorney that signed entry of appearance to let the last attorney that we defaulted go back through again, that's who we sued. It turns out that last attorney was actually one of the members of the law firm, and he was also an investor. And he went back to, and my sister did all of this. I was like, what? She's researched his ass. So he went back to college and got his degree to be a bar member or whatever. And I guess he figured he just kick our ass, since the other 11 or attorneys or 12 attorneys, I didn't know if it was 12 or 13, couldn't get the job done. And so when he stepped in, we jammed his ass up too. And then we sent service to his house to include his wife, so she had to sign. Yeah. Sometimes I should be paying you guys for having all this fun. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yo, she's crazier than me. So Alex, dude, you're right. I ain't even gonna lie. Okay, I asked her one day. I said, "Sweetie, do you know how to tell when when an attorney is lying?" And usually you say, their mouth's moving. I said, "Do you know how to tell when an attorney's lying?" She looked me right in the eye in like 2 seconds. She says, "He's breathing." I was like, damn. That's not what I was gonna say, but I think that trumps my shit. Okay. She like, what? I said, I ain't messing with you. Remind me not to mess with you. Okay. She says he's breathing. Okay, I think that trumps your mouse moving. Yeah. Thank you, MX Capital. I love this. Yeah. I created a master key, and it's easy to use. You just have to keep it simple and don't put none of their shit in it. Because when you add their shit in it and you argue about their shit, then you're screwed. You're done. Because their system is structured for arguing. And when the arguing's done, the judge gets to help them. Come on. It didn't take me too long it didn't take me too long to figure it out. Well, it took me a little time to figure out is I couldn't trust my damn attorney. And then the attorney threw me under the bus and then told everybody I was mentally ill and incompetent and shit. And then I got stuck up in there, on diesel therapy, getting shipped all over the United States. Yeah. So when someone tells you they went on diesel therapy, that's very real and not very much fun. But, I learned what's going down with the foreclosures and shit while I was in there from people that was in there. Funny how I lived in a law library. It's funny how it goes. They sent me off to get education. Oh. Yeah. But it happened to me a long time ago. It happened to my sister recently. And she's still in her house. So, and ain't nobody bothering her. The new judge, because if you do this right and you jam up the first judge, the new judge coming in is looking down and smelling that pile of shit, and they're like, I don't know who that legal team is, but that legal team ain't screwing around. That's all I can tell you. So you don't need to get in contact with me, Alex. You just need to go to the website and get what you need. It works better for me after people make their investment and do the homework, make the investment, review the documents, and then if you have questions, you can email me or message me in the group or send me a message on Messenger with your question. That works out better because now our time is spent toward helping you with the problem. Most people want to call me and talk about all of that stuff, and I didn't want to talk about that stuff. And I have some people that get pissed off at me when I cut them off. But I'm like, okay, guys, you need to understand, I got the most calls I got in one day was 32. Usually the average between 8 and 12, 14, I don't know. But I don't have time to listen to a bunch of stuff that you're not going to use in my program. Now, that's what attorneys do. They listen to all that shit, and they know that you're not going to use any of that shit because they're going to screw you over. So, I'm just saying, for me, my time is valuable. While I'm talking to you on the phone, a lot of times I'll have 2 or 3 calls that I miss. And I'm thinking, is that one of your calls or your neighbor or your friend or someone that's ready to fight? So now you see how I think. If you call me and I'm, and I have time to talk and we talk for half an hour or something, great. If you call me and I tell you I can't talk now, or I don't take your call, or tell you to text me or email me or something, it's not just because I'm being butthead. Okay. It's because I'm trying to use my time in the most efficient manner so that we can help the most people possible at the end of the day. And also so I can get to bed before 4 in the morning, because I can't go to bed till I get all this stuff. And that's why sometimes people send me an email and they're thinking out loud. And I'm like, dude, you didn't have to send me this email thinking out loud, okay? Because I ain't trying to. Are you asking me a question or what? This is just thinking out loud. And most people think, oh my God, he's being mean. Well, I have 50 emails to go through, and I'm trying to get them done so that I'm not leaving anybody hanging, Now, with that said, that's the second reason why I don't let people send me their stuff, because there's no safety net here. Okay. I'm providing the education. You got to get the education, put it together, and figure out how to use it. And you got to figure out how to work your way through the fraud. Okay. Because that's the deal. The fraud is the problem. Now, we're doing a real good job of sticking in their face and figuring out how to cut to the chase and holding the right piece of people accountable and all of those things. Standing free, the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit is not $75 again. I'm sure you've been to my website. If not, you should go to the website and see how much it is. I'm pretty sure it's not $75 again. You should have got it when it was $75 if you didn't. So I'm suggesting you if you're interested, go to the website and see what it is. I don't remember. I have 17 documents, and I'm in the process of. Now, I haven't got all of the wording on the new website and all that stuff set up yet, but everything is connected. The checkout is all connected to all of the packages. So if you see a package that you're interested in, and I don't have a feature or much of a description on it, click on it anyway and get the package. And when you click on, you'll see a little more information. And you can review it after you get the package. And in the meantime, I think probably by the end of next week, I should have everything else set up. Thank you, Alex. So, a jurisdiction challenge with an affidavit. Let me figure out how to do a screen share here, and I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys the. Okay, so this is the file. This is the jurisdiction challenge with an affidavit lawsuit package. It's different than the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit, because this has a lawsuit package in it. So basically what you're getting right here, the jurisdiction, the challenger jurisdiction. I'm just going to click on it and open it up so that you guys can take a look at it, maybe. Yeah. Well, that's the jurisdictional challenge. This is the same thing as what you guys already have. I just named it something different because this package has a lawsuit in it. So this is the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit. So this is the one that you guys all have. So it's the same thing, but the package is different with the lawsuit. And with that, you got your inventory notice of default, your motion for hearing on the jurisdictional challenge. You have here inventory motion for summary judgment, and you can and you can figure out when to use these. If you don't know, then you need to figure that out on your own. Okay. The inventory motion to moot, you would file at the same time you file your challenge to jurisdiction. And then this is your response. I put together inventory response because I had one or two attorneys try to file a response. It was told bullshit, but I put together a response anyway. And the notice of removal from state court. This is the document that we use to remove the eviction process from eviction court over to federal court. So if you file your title dispute in federal court, you can use this document to remove the eviction process from eviction court over to federal court, because eviction court can only make a determination on immediate possession. They cannot make a determination on the title dispute, and your title dispute is filed in the higher court. When the title dispute is settled, then the higher court can make a determination on the possession, and we're sure it's going to be you. So so that's how you roll on that. Now, this is what I've done. Instead of trying to redo all the documents, I just added this zip file to the other zip file. So, and then change the name. So this is the $2 million Administrative Procedures Act lawsuit, the new one that we had for $75 for a long time. And if you click on it here, you'll see you get 4 documents in that package. So you'll get the actual lawsuit. And I'm going to just click on it. So I'll show you the front page. We're not going to go through the whole thing. We're just going to show you the front page so you can see that we're bringing fire to the table. I like that fire thing. Sorry, I get a little carried away with the fire. Okay, and I got it in 2 windows. I need to get it done. I was like, what the hell's going on here? Got it in 2 windows. Half a window on each side. So this is the lawsuit package. Now, we've been filing this in state court and doing real good with it. And this is what we did with my sister. We kept hers in state court, and we worked out the program that we use for state court. And what I've put together here is just a short version. I'd like to get it down to as less documents as possible, but it's nice to have what you need to punch them so you don't have to come back and give me more money like you do attorneys. I'm trying to have everything in the package you need to go kick some ass. And so you can see this is pretty powerful. This is pretty powerful. And you can go to some of my YouTube videos where I talk about the Administrative Procedures Act of 1946, Foreign Agent Registration Act. And and this claim is also against the Bar Association and the defendant's bar card. Now, you can put this claim against their corporate charter for the court, or the attorney's corporate charter, or their house. Yeah. So we don't have a bunch of limitations in my program. And then the inventory notice of default. And then this is the motion to recuse the judge, in case you haven't done that yet. So the biggest trick here is to challenge the jurisdiction, recuse the judge, and then attack the judge so the judge can't come back into the picture. And then the new judge has got to come into the picture. And the new judge knows if the new judge shits on you, you can do the same thing to the new judge. And in most cases, they ain't trying to have it, because you've got enough on the record there. See, in my program, we're not going into court asking the judge to rule on shit and asking them for nothing. We ain't asking them for nothing. And when you go into court, you ain't asking them for nothing. You're putting yourself in a different situation than you are when you go into court asking them for a bunch of stuff. We ain't asking them for nothing. We about to take some shit. So that's how we got this set up. And the reason that I don't need to hear all of the stuff that everybody's doing is because we're not talking about none of that shit. We're not talking about none of that. We want to talk about the shit they're doing wrong. That's what we want to talk about. I don't send anybody in the court to argue what they said they did or didn't do, because that's not going to help anybody. So that's what that package looks like. So you guys can see there's four documents in the lawsuit package, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 documents in the other package. So I didn't know what 4 and 9 adds up to, because I can only add up big bills. Okay, sorry. So I'm going to show you guys what that product page looks like. View. And you're going to see what we're asking for this puppy. So what would you give for lawsuit packages? You can go back in and challenge your jurisdiction up to 15 years later. Bam! On sale, $350. And 14, 15 documents. Yeah. This is the bomb. And my website is so pretty. So I'm going to click a link into the window there. So into the chat window. Well, I got to close this up so I can find the chat window. Let me see where the chat window's at. Now there's a link to that package. And that package is the bomb. Now, to give you guys, oops, it didn't load in one place, so that's okay. I think you guys are loaded in a couple other places, so you guys can see it there. I'm gonna post it on the thing. Yep, that's the bomb. The 1-2 punch. You file that jurisdictional challenge and follow up with the lawsuit punch for some unrelated stuff. How sweet is that? And now you don't have to argue all that banking crap, none of that. Now, all you got to argue is what's on the court record. Yep. In the end, you're going to use the court record to jam their ass up with. And they're not even going to figure out that's what you're doing until it's too late. By the time they figure out, there's nothing they can do, because they've already dismissed your stuff and did all these stuff, and they don't have an injured party. And the foreclosure statute is not a valid law. It's in violation of the Constitution, of the state constitution, because it does not have the necessary elements to be considered a valid law. The elements are, each state constitution mandates that a law, for something to be a law, it has to have an enacting clause, which tells everybody from what authority the law came from, who's subject to following. It has to have a title, and it has to have a body. And statutes and codes have none of those. Could it be so simple? And I tell people this all the time, and I don't think I've had one person call me up and say, hey, I used that, I challenged them, and they went and sat the hell down. Everybody's so worried about how many wins did you get and how many and all this other stupid shit. Okay, so, and of course I'm thinking, well, if you're not going to use something new, what you're doing must be working pretty well, right? I mean, I like to keep it simple. If people have all these questions and want to know how many wins and all this stuff, and what you're doing must be working, because from what I'm seeing, what people are doing is not working. And if there's something else that makes sense, then I ain't worried about how many other people are using it, because them other people might be sissies. They might be scaredy pantses and sitting on their butt, or they might be the kind of people that are so worried about having everything perfect that they never get around to filing shit. Okay, I don't. Yeah, so I don't follow none of that. Thanks, Al. Welcome to the show tonight, buddy. So we got one more thing to talk about. So the court rules, and I'm bringing this up again. I talked about this a little while ago, but we're going to touch on it again and add a little bit to it each time that I need to bring it up. Which set of rules are you following? Someone messaged me and said the court told him that he must use the state forms, and they were not letting him use the lawsuit package or whatever that he bought for me. And of course, I'm like, did you do any homework? What did you find when you Google search the situation? Did you take some time to find out what the clerk's responsibilities were by law? Those are things when these people get in your face, instead of messaging me or emailing me, you need to do your homework. You need to do your homework and figure out what they're supposed to be doing. And once you figure out what they're supposed to be doing, you'll probably see you're in a whole lot different position. Now, I use federal case law in all of my state court documents. There's no difference than using federal case law in state court than there is using Supreme Court case law in state or federal. Now, the problem for them is they can't use state case law in federal court. So I put together a change of venue document that's on my website, and I was actually putting that together for my sister to just move all their shit right out of state court over to federal court, because as a foreign agent, they have to file their shit in federal court. They can't file in state court. Don't have jurisdiction to hear a dispute between a foreign agent from another country. Now think about this. If you sue someone in another state, you still have to sue them in federal court. You cannot sue someone in another state in state court. That's not the way it goes. So this change of venue motion addresses the fact that judges in violation of the Administrative Procedures Act of 1946, of their Foreign Agent Registration Act. Yep, and those. So any party can move for a change of venue in the interest of justice. And when I read that, I was like, damn, this is going to be fun, but I never got to use it because they had already terminated the case. But I put it together anyway, and I put it on my website for 50 freaking bucks. Put my mouth where my money's at, 50 bucks. And I've sold a few of them. Haven't heard back from anybody yet, but that should do the trick real well. Now, all it does is stops everything and throws a wrench in the program. Okay, you still got to figure out a way to address the unlawful foreclosure, the wrongful foreclosure, or whatever, if you want. You know, I don't know if this would end it, but it would sure mess it up. Because here's the thing: when you move that shit back over to federal court, or when you move it over to federal court where it should be in the first place, number one, the attorneys do their shit with state court statutes and all that shit. You can't file that shit in federal court. Cool. That's going to be a problem for the attorneys. Number two, most attorneys in state court, most leech attorneys in state court are not licensed to practice in federal court. So that's a problem too. So theoretically speaking, you could be a huge pain in their ass and make them dismiss the case or terminate the case or whatever, just because they don't have time to screw with you. And if you stop and think about it, they have a lot of people that give up and pack their shit, and they don't have time to mess with somebody like you that's screaming and fighting and being a total pain in the ass. Because that's how we roll. So they cannot refuse to file they can, but they can't. They cannot refuse by law. They cannot refuse to file your pleading for want of form. For want of form. You can look that up. Now, the rules. Before we get to the rules, every state has a filing requirement, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So the rules. The main rules that everyone's supposed to be following are the federal rules of civil procedure, right? Yep. And when the judge or an attorney are whining about the rules, they are usually not the federal rules of civil procedure, are they? Most of the time, when these attorneys are whining about the rules, they're whining about what they call the local rules. Now, each state has a filing requirement. And if you understand if you find that filing requirement statute, each state has filing requirement statute, you find that filing requirement statute, you'll find that it's very liberal. And it don't mention none of the shit that they're complaining about. Go look. And if you're in a situation where they're giving you a hard time like that, I would have that filing requirement statute on the front page of whatever it is you're filing, so you can show them, hey, this has been prepared. My legal team prepared this according to the filing statute for this state, found right here at whatever. So if you're complaining about something different, you're going to need to show me where this is so I can take it back and show my legal team, or my legal team is going to add your ass to the lawsuit. Sorry, I'm just going to keep it plain and simple and short because I don't want confusions. We don't need confusion. So the following requirement is very liberal. And the following requirements must be in line with the federal rules of civil procedure. Those are the rules that everybody's supposed to be following. So what the hell are the local court rules? They're not connected to the federal rules of civil procedure, and they're in violation of your constitutional rights. So, and this is my opinion, the local court rules are not in harmony with the Constitution, and they're designed to speed things up in the court, to speed the process up. And anytime that the court has rules that are designed to speed up the court process, you're being violated. Plain and simple. You must understand the rules the clerk is bound to follow. So do your homework. That's the best. You do your homework and understand what they're supposed to be doing and what they're not supposed to be doing. Otherwise, they're going to try to get away with whatever they can get away with because that's how they roll. They're used to people just being ignorant and having no idea. But now we got crazy people like me, and we got the internet that we can start looking at and communicating with. Yeah, so shit's not coming out the way they like to have it or the way it's been in the past. Remember, your goal in my program is to sue whoever is assisting attorneys in stealing your property. Know your rights and what the clerk is bound to do before you go in to file your document. If the clerk is helping the attorneys, I would consider adding him or her to your action. And I just tell them, dude, my legal team said you're helping them. And when they're telling you what to do, and you can ask them, hey, my legal team said you're not supposed to be giving me legal advice. And by the way, your legal advice sucks. So you should stick to being a clerk. Oh, wait, you suck at that too. Okay, never mind. You're probably going to get yourself thrown out if you get to talking crap. Okay. Calvin. Good evening, Calvin and Ralph. Welcome tonight, buddy. You guys are a little late, but I'm not going to make you run because we're about to get out of here in a few minutes. But you can click the button to re-look at everything button, and so you don't miss anything that we talked about tonight. So one of the things I wanted to ask you guys is, please do not call me and complain while I'm doing a live stream or while I'm doing a Zoom meeting. I did a Zoom meeting last week with like 30 people from California, and I had one lady call in to complain that the lawsuit package didn't work for her. And I would rather have this conversation in private, because most of the time it's not working because you either didn't do something right or you changed the paperwork or whatever. And I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot in front of everybody, okay? Because that doesn't help anybody, and I'm not trying to do that. But if you call and you make a big deal about it not working for you, then we're going to dissect it and figure out why it didn't work for you, because I'm an open book. And if you're going to, be on live saying it didn't work, we're going to figure out why. If it didn't work and it's something that I need to change, then I need to know and I need to take care of it. If it didn't work because you didn't do the right thing, or they scared you or chased you off, or you didn't figure out the fraud they were pulling, then that's going to be on you, and we're going to figure that out. And then try to put together some kind of a game plan to get your foot back in the door. But I felt kind of bad because she was pretty adamant, and in the end, she couldn't answer. Well, the second time I asked her, did you recuse the judge? And she didn't answer me the first time, and she just kept going on. So I asked again. I'm real proud of my program, and I'm not going to let anybody say it didn't work if they didn't follow all the steps and do everything they're supposed to be doing. It's not fair. So if you bring it up during a live stream, then we're going to discuss it. I'm an open book, and I don't have a problem with it, but I made a comment to one guy, I asked him on Facebook, and we were messaging we're messaging each other in the page, and I asked him, he was scared. And I asked him if he was scared and if he was going to give up and go sit on the bench. And he thought I was sending him to the bench, and he just lost it. And I had to kick him out of the group, because I'm not, like I told him, I'm not dealing with drama. So if so don't take it personal. And please don't call me or email me about how many wins this has. Okay, this is brand new. I just put it together. All of my stuff should win hands down, if not for the fraud that these fools are sticking in people's face. And I'm not an attorney. And how many wins is what you would ask attorney in a conventional situation? Because generally a win is when the judge says, okay, you win or whatever. And I don't know, I used to say that never happened, because most of the time the attorneys turn and walk away. But we do have a situation where my sister jammed them up pretty good, and they terminated her case. Now, one of the things that people need to remember is that when I use federal case law and all of my stuff, you can use my stuff in any state. I got people that are so stuck in, oh, well, no, I have to change all this to my state laws and to my state this and my state that. And I try to tell them, look, you don't need to do all that. But at the end of the day, I don't have time to argue with people. So I put the paperwork together, and people are using it, and it's jamming people up. It's jamming the attorneys up real good. For the people that think they have to change it, is because they haven't done the homework. They don't understand what's going on. But I want to throw it out there. So I have excellent Google reviews that speak for themselves. So this whole process is very embarrassing. And not everybody wants to go on Google reviews, leaving me a Google review that I helped them stop their foreclosure or tax sale or whatever. But here's the thing. If you read the reviews, a lot of the people are not real specific, but the reviews are badass. So there's nobody talking. There's only like one or two people that was talking shit. And one person kept an attorney and lied to me, and the other person never bought any of my stuff. He's just a hater from Facebook. Tim Barley. Yeah, Tim Barley. Yeah. And Stormin Norman. Yeah, they're all the same person. He masquerades himself as 3 or 4 different people. But anyway, the last time he got in my face, I jammed him pretty good and made a video about him. So I play a little rough. So if you haven't figured that out yet, so I have put together this package. I sent you guys email to it there. I have it marked down right now for $350. And this package is designed to take over the program and allows you to sue the judge at the gate for unrelated stuff. So I think that's like superb. And I'll tell you guys right now, the stuff that I put together, this whole program I put together to protect my family and a few other people. And if You know, I had one lady tell me, "Oh, I got this document." I sent her a special document that I was working on. Shit, this document has your name on it. This is something you find. Well, yeah. Everything that you get, either I put together for a family member or for myself or for my sister, and my stuff I put together for my sister is totally badass. So yeah. And I would use what I'm doing if I was facing this problem again in a heartbeat. I would use what I'm putting together right now. So what everybody's using in a heartbeat. And that's why I do it. So that's all the value I have for you guys tonight. I appreciate you guys hanging with me. I hope that I have shared information with you that's going to help you kick somebody's ass, some attorney's asses, and go to the website and get what you need. And then if you have any questions, you can email me. So I will see you guys next week. Next Tuesday, I'm probably going to be speaking to the group called David and Goliath. I haven't had a chance to research them yet, but apparently there's a lot of people in California that go to this website and they have a call and they talk about stuff. So I'm educating them about how we've been doing things and giving them some pointers on how they maybe should be changing a few things that they're doing to get themselves back in their houses. So thank you guys. Good night. And I will see you guys in the next video. Get over to the website and get what you need before I mark the prices. Okay, no, I'm kidding. Okay, I'm out of control now. I'm about to get myself fired. I'm about to have to fire myself. Good night, guys.